Okay. Hmm. Let's see. YouTube is going. Facebook is going. Let's see if Instagram. Okay, Instagram looks to be going now. I just want to come in here and hit go live there and go live here. Now, why does my camera not show me? It's like I'm behind the Instagram panel or something. It's very weird. Okay, there we go. It's adjusting now, and now it's got my face. Okay, excellent. All right, and YouTube looks good. Okay, so I can now come into my little spot where I always go and do it my way. Okay, all right. It's been a pretty good week. I booked a bounce back offer for a client who then reached out a couple days later and said, "Hey, we want to do a weekend in May. It's a girls' trip." It's actually a three generation. It's mom and grandmom and the 5 year old. So it's a really cool girls' trip. I love those multi generational family trips, I guess because I was part of so many of them growing up. It just feels very familiar and warm and fuzzy to me. So, if you want to do a multi generational family trip and you want somebody to juggle all the family, I can do that. Let me know. We have green today because, of course, we are rolling into St. Patrick's Day weekend. I hope that whatever part of St. Patrick's Day you enjoy, whether it's the parades or some of the other celebrations where you live or going out for an Irish meal, a lot of restaurants put some Irish stuff on the menu this weekend. So if that's on your list, if you happen to be in Disney Springs, please go to Raglan Road and have some soda bread for me. Their Irish soda bread is probably my favorite, and it unfortunately uses Irish beer, and I'm having trouble getting the Irish beer where I am. So I have not been able to make it yet, even though I have the recipe. Um, so let's talk some travel stuff. We're getting into spring break season now. Spring break is just starting up. It'll run from now till Easter. Um, so it's not like Christmas or New Year's where it's a definite set of dates, but you will definitely see if you're traveling, you'll see more crowds at the airport, you'll see more crowds in the theme parks, you'll see more kids on the cruise ships, because we are on spring break, which is great. I know the teachers need it. I love my reading students, I really do, but I am counting down the weeks till my spring break. It's about a month away. And I love my students, I really do. But the truth is, we can all use a little time apart from time to time. My hands are really dry and irritated. Let me fix that really quick. I can't do that before the live, really, because you gotta touch stuff and set stuff up and get stuff everywhere. And this is H2O. This tells you how old this hand cream is because, as we know, H2O has not been around for a while. But Disney is continuing the H2O products. You can find them in the stores in the resorts. I saw them in either Grand Floridian or Contemporary when we were in their shops when I was there in December. There's not a lot of stuff, and there's not always a lot of it, but I did see it. It is there. It does exist. And if you've stayed recently, you will notice the logo on your bottles in the shower has changed. I don't know that the boxes with the soap have changed yet, but I do know that especially we travel genies talk about these things when we get together. We met with our BDM at Disney last week. She had some cool things for us, and we talk about the H2O products from time to time because we all love them. It's one of our favorite things about going to Disney. It's probably the one of the favorite things in our rooms that we can always look forward to is having that great smelling stuff in the shower and going out in the park and smelling good and feeling good and just being 100%. I love the shampoo and conditioner. It's been the Marine the last couple times I've gone. I am loving it. Okay. Oh, now my skin is flaky. I just can't win. All right, never mind. You don't care about my skin anyway. You're here for travel news. All right. Just get to it, Jen. Stop this foolishness. What kind of foolishness would you like to see? Sorry, I had to channel the Muppets there for a minute. Let me go into my drafts so I can find. Um, First off, Viking has a really good deal. Through the end of the month, you get a discount on your international airfare. For some destinations, it's even free. There is a discount per couple, and I believe there is also a room upgrade. So if you want to do a river cruise, they also have expeditions, they have ocean cruises. If you want to go Viking and you want that sense of history and community, they do some really cool stuff on board. For example, you might have a chef from the local region you're going to visit tomorrow come the day before and do a cooking demonstration for you. Or you might have somebody on the Viking staff might be trained by a local chef to do that cooking demonstration for you. You're also going to get, there'll be information about the history and all that stuff about where you're going, so that when you hit when you come off the ship and you hit the dock and you're ready to go, you're also informed and you feel like you're kind of already clued into everything, which is a really good feeling. There's nothing worse than traveling and feeling lost and unsure of things and not really comfortable and not knowing where to go or who to ask or any of those things. Let's face it, we've all been there. Um, that's part of what a travel agent does is I try to put you at ease. I make sure that we know those pain points and we address them ahead of time so that you don't have to worry about them. I had a client a year or two ago who was really, really concerned that the thing about the trip that worried her the most was getting from the airport to her Disney resort. So I just made sure well in advance we talked about the different options, and she was in Disneyland, and we opted to do the shuttle from the airport to Disneyland. And we booked it well ahead of time. I made sure she knew how it was going to work. I made sure the company had all her info as well as all my info in case they couldn't get a hold of her for some reason. We all tend to ignore those numbers we don't recognize on our phones. It's just kind of habit. Um, but I made sure we had closed that loop as tight as we could before her trip. She went, she had a fabulous trip, and I've helped her with other stuff since then. So sometimes, if you can take some of that scary unknown out of the trip, and I know the unknown is also what makes it exciting because you're going to go and you're going to do new things and you're going to see new things and you might meet new people or find a new favorite food or, you just never know what's going to happen on vacation. And I know that's part of the magic of it, but that uncertainty can also be one of the stressors. So I do my best to make sure we get rid of as much of that uncertainty about the trip itself as we can so that you can be open to all those new experiences that are going to occur. Because that's the whole reason we travel, right? Because we want to do new stuff. A lot of times it's because we want to do new things, even if we're going to a familiar place. I can't wait for my son to turn 21 so that when we go to Disney that December, actually, it will be the December right before he turns 22, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get there between 21 and 22. Maybe we can do I don't know, a weekend over the summer, or we'll have to see how busy his life is that year. But I would love to take him to Sangria University at Coronado Springs. That's on my bucket list for him. I don't think he knows that yet. And if he watches this live, he's liable to forget before then anyway. Um, but that's on my bucket list for him and I to do together. So I know it's cool to drink around the world at Epcot for your 21st, but I think we're going to do Sangria University, and then after that, we might head to Epcot. Never know with the two of us. Um, but it's doing new things, even in a familiar setting, that also adds magic to the thought of traveling. Because I know traveling can be annoying. Your flight gets delayed, you don't know what to pack, it doesn't all fit in your suitcase, you got to pay those baggage fees. I know there can be a lot of annoyance with travel. And I can't control your airline. I can't control your plane. I can't control your airline fees. But I can try to make getting there and enjoying your trip once you have arrived as smooth and enjoyable as possible. So that's kind of my goal with everybody I work with. Okay. All right. Enough with the shameless self promotion. This is something cool they're doing, and you could always do this. You can do this anywhere. This is what we call land and sea, where you take your Disney cruise and then you tack on to the front or the back of your trip sometime in Disneyland, and not Disneyland, Disney World. Although I do believe, depending on where you're sailing from, you might be able to do Disneyland. Um, okay, this particular deal is for guests sailing out of Port Canaveral. You can save up to 35% when you extend your Disney Cruise Line vacation at select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. This is for travel dates between March 12th, so it's this week, through December 31st. You can add a pre or post stay at Disney's Saratoga Springs or Disney's Old Key West Resort. To be fair, I usually stay at Saratoga when I go in December. I like it for its proximity to Disney Springs. They also have a golf course. They have a spa. They have all those great pools. They have wonderful dining. Um, Old Key West is sort of next to Saratoga Springs. They're close together. I don't think they're actually next to each other, but they are close. I know that because when my son goes running, when we stay at Saratoga, he goes through Saratoga and over to Old Key West and through Old Key West and back to Saratoga, and he just keeps making his loop until he's gotten his mileage in. For those of you who are rather new, he does the Disney Marathon or the Run Disney event in January. This year he did the marathon and the half marathon. I'm not sure what they're going to do next year, but he does the January Run Disney event with his dad. So when we go in December, it's important that he gets some running time in. In addition to running himself, we go full tilt. I don't want to say we run ourselves ragged because we don't. We do kind of look at each other and go, we can do that tomorrow. Let's just go back to the resort and chill. Um, but we do hit the ground running and try to do as much as we can while we're there because there's so much to do, and I try to make sure we do a couple new things every time we go. Um, okay, so I have a little bit of information about the Monsters Inc. ride that's coming to Disney World. Um, and this will be the one where you are riding on the doors. We've all seen that scene in the movie where Mike and Sully are hanging onto the doors for dear life and looking for Boo's door, and the doors are turning and everything else. Sorry, I'm in it today. The hands are going. Um, okay. The upcoming door ride will feature the first ever suspended coaster at a Disney park and the first ever vertical lift. And you're going to scream not with fright, but with fun. So I think that could be quite impressive. I know it's going to be impressive because it's Disney and it's what they're known for, and they put all those little extras in. But I'm excited for it. I remember when I did the suspended coaster, they used to have dueling dragons at Universal. And it was the first suspended coaster I ever did with my son. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my shoes. And I was kind of like not into it at all. My husband had a back injury, so he could not do coasters. So I had to go because my son was too young and too short to go by himself. So I had to mom up and go on the coaster with him. And of course, it was dueling dragons. So you could do one dragon if you went one way and the other dragon if you went the other way. And we rode it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I expected to just like grit my teeth and put up with this and do it because my son wanted to do it, and I adored it. And I felt so bad for my husband because we came off and he's like, hey, I got you a butterbeer. Like, hey, you did it. I'm really proud of you. Here's a butterbeer. And I'm like, wait, we're doing the other side. We'll be back in 5 minutes. And he's like, what? But we had to do both dragons because we liked it and we wanted to do the other dragon. But I'm really excited for this one because I had such a good time on that coaster, and I'm excited to see what Disney does. Dueling Dragons was outdoors and there was theming up to the ride, but the ride itself didn't really have much theming because it was out in the open. So I'm curious to see, since we know that Disney generally does their coasters, a lot of their coasters indoors because of the weather in Florida. And I don't know that this one is going to be indoors. I'm guessing. I have no clue really, but I'm just kind of putting that out there because a lot of the coasters are inside. But then again, a lot of them are outside. Big Thunder's outside. Everest is outside. Um, I would think they will put this one. Slinky Dog is outside and it's in Hollywood Studios. So I don't know. Maybe they will do this one as an outdoor one. But It's going to be really cool either way, and I can't wait to ride it. Also, the Cars themed area that will be speeding into Magic Kingdom, um, they are going off road. So we have all new Cars characters, all new kinds of cars. The design team has actually been out in the desert doing off-road activities. They set up an off-road track with all kinds of sensors and stuff on the vehicles so they can start getting data to help design the ride and make it authentic. And your vehicle, aka your car pal. They didn't call them car pals, but your car that you ride in is going to be, of course, part of the ride. Your car is going to have a story. From what I gather, you're in a race of some sort, and your car is going to have, the like the runners have the bibs. It's going to have a little license plate or something with its entry number for the race. And we're going to get to meet some new Cars characters. So I'm excited to see who they bring and what they do um, for this one. Um, that's kind of all I have this week. It's not a whole lot of new stuff. Don't forget, cruises for 2026 are open for a lot of destinations. We're adding more. Disney's adding more Alaska to the itineraries in 2026. So if Alaska is on your bucket list, it's always been on mine. We can definitely make that happen. I can also help you with graduation. Maybe you have a girls' trip coming up. Maybe there was an engagement ring under the Christmas tree or in your champagne flute at New Year's, and you need to get your bridal party, your groomsmen, or your maids of honor, or both together, and you want to give them some time to get to know each other. Weekend trip to Disney is a great way to do that. So is a weekend trip to an all-inclusive, like a beaches or a sandals. Beaches are, of course, kid-friendly. So if you want to involve the ring bearers and the flower girls and the junior bridesmaids, we could do beaches. You could also do sandals. You guys could explore a new city together. You could always do a weekend in the iconic city of America, New York. Hit a Broadway show, go to Ellen's Stardust Diner, check out the shops on Fifth Avenue, go to the historic Macy's building. The 9/11 Memorial is there, the Freedom Tower's there. Top of the Rock, and that's not the one I'm thinking of. Top of the Rock is the new one. Empire State Building. You can't tell because you can't see inside my mind, but as I'm trying to come up with the name of the building, I'm seeing When Harry Met Sally, and where she goes out to the observation deck and she finds the bear, and then eventually she finds Jonah. I know I'm dating myself a little bit there, but When Harry Met Sally is kind of iconic, so not dating myself too much. Um, Little bummed because my Chicago shows are on hiatus, but they'll be back in a week or two. We got some great college basketball in the meantime. Um, but for now, it's Friday afternoon, so go out, have a fabulous weekend, enjoy whatever Irish St. Patrick's Day tradition you do, whether it's green beer, whether it's Irish soda bread, whether you're in a parade, whether you're going to watch the parade, or whatever else you're going to do. Enjoy your weekend. And when you get together with your friends this weekend and you think about traveling and having new adventures, let me know because I would love to help you do that. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next Friday. Bye. Oh.